What's goody, Sheltron here. You can call me Shells, and I'm back again with a brand new video. And today, I want to talk about a guy who I know everyone's already heard about. His name's been thrown out there a lot. For a guy who could be coming up from the college ranks and become maybe an offensive coordinator in the NFL. We've all heard the names, and I know just the other day I had a video talking about how we were most likely going to be seeing Sean Rhyan become the OC of the Panthers underneath Matt Rhule as the new head coach. But this guy, Joe Brady from LSU, his name's been getting thrown around a lot over the last couple of days, and I thought I really should talk about it. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I don't really watch too much college football. I watch more college hoops, which, by the way, y'all seen how Chapel Hill been playing? That's how they should look. But getting past that, I want to look into Joe Brady some more. I knew what he was doing this year with LSU, but I want to go over and see what he's done in his past. So I'll go over a little bit of his history real quick and then get into what he's been doing more recently. And I'm not saying a little bit of his history because I'm being lazy. I mean, this dude doesn't have that much history. Joe Brady was born in 1989, so he's only 30 years old. He was a receiver at William & Mary from 2009 to 2012, and then right after he graduated, he became a linebacker coach there from 2013 to 2014. But after that, he became a grad assistant at Penn State from 2015 to 2016, and then somehow after that, a dude who was a linebacker coach for 2 years at William & Mary, then became a grad assistant at Penn State for 2 years, somehow became the offensive assistant for the Saints. He was probably not doing all that much, but he was with the Saints on the offensive staff for 2 years. And you know about Sean Payton, we know about Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, all that kind of stuff. And then Ed Orgeron from LSU called him up and said, look, we need you over here at LSU. Can you please come down here and make some magic, make some things work, which, you know, kind of works since New Orleans and LSU, they right there beside each other. And all this man Joe Brady did in his first year at LSU was turn the whole program around. Now look, they were 6th in the nation just last year in 2018, but the team did not look this good. Joe Burrow went from his junior year looking like an undrafted free agent kind of guy in the draft, maybe being a late third day kind of guy you might take a flyer on, to being the obvious, undisputed, most easy first overall draft pick. In 2018 when he was a junior, he had a 57.8% completion percentage, less than 3,000 yards passing, 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. This year, 2019, he has a 77.6% completion rate, over 5,000 yards, 55 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. There is no way, absolutely no way, that you can say that Joe Brady did not have something to do with this man Joe Burrow's growth. But I'd be lying if I said I knew exactly what was going on here, because it wasn't like Joe Brady was the offensive coordinator. It wasn't like he was a higher up kind of guy. He was a wide receivers coach and a passing game coordinator. I'm not exactly sure what a passing game coordinator is. I've never heard of that position before, but I do know that this man Joe Burrow's stats went through the roof. And not only that, but you can look at the receivers as well. The receivers did way better this year than they did last year. Just look at the numbers. I mean, Jamar Chase, 75 catches, 1,559 yards, 18 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson, 102 catches, 1,434 yards, 18 touchdowns. Terrence Marshall Jr., 43 catches, 625 yards, 12 touchdowns. Between 3 players, there are 48 touchdowns. 2 guys above 1,400 yards, and your third leading guy has 600 yards and 12 touchdowns. I don't know how you do that. And it wasn't like it was only the pass game that was working. The run game worked as well. I mean, 1,300 yards on the ground for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. We understand this LSU offense was amazing, right? Not a single soul in college football could touch them. They scored 48.9 points per game. They almost averaged a 50 burger per time they stepped on the field, and that's way up from 2018 where they scored 32.4 points per game. That was 38th in college. This year they're number 1, obviously. There's no way you can deny that LSU got way better on offense this year as compared to last year. Every single stat is just way up. But that's where my questions begin. We've only seen this for 1 year. And I know we like to get into the whole, Sean McVay thing, boy wonder, young offensive-minded coaches who have exciting offenses. You want to do things, you want to kind of be like, it's a copycat league in the NFL. Everyone saw what Sean McVay did with Jared Goff and thought, hold up. Maybe I should go get a young guy, a young offensive guy, and he can do what he did with Jared Goff. I'm not exactly sure how good of a coach Sean McVay is. I'm not saying he isn't a great coach. He's one of the best coaches in the league. But we have to remember that Jared Goff, when we all thought he was a bust, right? And we all thought Jared Goff was a bust. Who was this coach? It was Jeff Fisher, Mr. 79, and it seems like most people forgot all about that, but I'm over here thinking to myself, do you have to be a great coach to turn Jared Goff around? Or do you have to be just a lot better than Jeff Fisher? And a lot better than Jeff Fisher doesn't exactly make you the best coach in the NFL. And only having this 1 year on your resume after being a linebacker coach at William & Mary, being a grad assistant at Penn State, and then having 2 years as an offensive assistant, which doesn't really tell you all that much about what he was doing. What exactly was his job with the Saints? And he comes into LSU for this 1 year and does all this. Matt Rhule is a first-year coach. We're probably going to bring in Phil Snow to be the DC, who has 40-plus years coaching at both the college level and in the NFL. I don't know exactly how I would feel about bringing in Joe Brady off of 1 year of success to be the offensive coordinator, to be the guys calling the plays. Now, if we brought in Joe Brady and we had Sean Ryan, maybe one guy's an OC, the other guy's a QB and receivers coach, that might work out. I can see that happening maybe, but I'd be lying straight to your face if I said I had 100% confidence in a 30-year-old coach who only has one impressive year on his resume at the college level. It's kind of a weird thing. Like, you can roll the dice and maybe you hit there, but I just don't know about a one-hit wonder as an OC that you're going to have to pay. And by the way, there's been a lot of reports on both ESPN and SportsIllustrated.com talking about whether or not Joe Brady will even leave LSU. At noon today, the 11th, there was a report saying that Joe Brady was in an interview and he said his primary focus is staying at LSU. And that's what everyone says. They still have the national championship game on Monday against Clemson. You do not want to start a media firestorm saying, hey, I'm leaving this year. So, hey, these kids, everyone I recruited, hey, it is what it is, but I'm out of here. You don't want to do that. He gave the right answer there. And then 5 hours later, he renegotiated his deal with LSU to extend him for another 3 years. So before, earlier on, he was on a 3-year deal where he was making $400,000 a year. And this new deal was going to give him at least double that per year, but he could still make that move if a team decides to buy him out off that contract and then sign him to another contract themselves. It'd be a lot of money, but obviously we've seen David Tepper not care about the price. He says, look, I got money to blow, and if this money I spend right here can translate to wins, then I'm willing to spend it, which is something you gotta love. You gotta love that about an owner, especially a new owner in the NFL who you know got money. These boys, these dudes got money, and some owners hate spending it, but not David Tepper. So we're gonna see what we're gonna see here. I think Joe Brady would be a good addition to the team, but I would like to see him maybe as a receiver, quarterback coach, maybe just even as a passing game coach, and we also still bring in Sean Ryan. They can work in tandem with each other, or even if he's the OC, then still have someone like Sean Ryan on the staff. I don't like the idea of a 30-year-old guy who might just be a one-hit wonder in LSU with those receivers, with that quarterback coming in and taking the reins in his first year as a offensive coordinator in the NFL. I got big questions about that. But all this talk about him staying at LSU or getting this extension don't mean nothing. I'm going to be real with you here. If the price is right, Joe Brady will leave LSU to come be something, some kind of coaching position with the Panthers. I have no doubt about that. So we'll see how that works out. But as of right now, there's no real news. He's focused on this Clemson game, and we got to see how he does in that game. That might bring his price up, might bring his price down. You never know. Me personally, I think they're going to win, and Joe Burrow's going to throw at least 4 touchdowns in that game because that LSU offense is something else. It's something else. But we'll see how things work out for us here. And I would really want to see Joe Brady and Sean Ryan somehow both be a part of the offense next year. But what are y'all thoughts? Do you think Joe Brady will stay at LSU? Do you think he'll come to Carolina? What do you think about him only having 1 year experience, him being 30 years old, and him not really being a big part of an offense until just this year? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. And you already know to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Been told y'all I been the man. Been told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.